This is Morning Express, and it's time for us to get into the newsroom. So I'll go straight to introducing our guest this morning, and I'll start with my extreme left, where we have Crispus Yankem, who is a communication consultant. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Mike.
We also have Honorable William Okech, who is from the Media Council of Kenya and also a judicial officer.
Thank you.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us. We have Mwenda Kilemi, who is a lecturer at the University of Nairobi Communications Department.
Thank you for having me.
Last but not least, we have Clay Muganda, who is an editor and a writer with the Standard. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you for joining us, and I think we'll hopefully have some ladies coming in soon. Somebody was complaining about our set the other day. But anyway, thank you for coming in. Now, some of the stories that have been making headlines. Let me start with what has stood out for you, Yankem, this week from Wednesday to today. What is maybe one of the stories that has stood out for you?
Well, thank you, Mike. And I think I want to begin by saying that a lot of water has gone under the bridge. It's been a very eventful week, looking at the coverage, the media coverage, whether it is actually on the political scene or corruption as it is. But I think I want to begin by commending the Standard on Sunday for doing a very serious work, because looking at your analysis, I thought it was quite incisive. Whether it is the chicken gate scandal and the exclusive interview with the former Interior Minister or Cabinet Secretary, Joseph Olelenku. And your coverage and an analysis on Ewan Harake. You remember the guy, Adan Harake, the NYS officer. I think it was quite commendable. Number two, I would like to commend KTN for your ongoing series on the ballot scars. I think it is quite relevant, looking at the way the issues are covered. Speaks volumes about where we are as a country, even as we approach next year's elections. But I think I would like to see how that story will be taken forward, because there are serious issues that are yet to be covered. The first day, I thought you dwelt quite a lot on the history. But I think what I'm interested in at the moment is the possible suggestions. By the way, did you know that we have IDPs in Turkana who are yet to be settled? The irony of it is that the IDPs, majority of them are actually Turkanas themselves. They are locals and they are IDPs within their own area. Okay,
we'll follow up on that, on maybe the progress, but which story stands out for you if you're to pick one? Which one would it be?
Absolutely. Corruption, I think it's still a major issue, but I have again an issue with that, because yesterday we saw that Anne Waiguru now claims that her life is in danger. Michael, did you know that my life is also in danger? Hold on, Michael. My life is also in danger. So are the lives of millions of other Kenyans in this country who are facing imminent starvation.
Okay, I'll come to that, Yankem. Let me come to Clay Muganda, and as writer of the Standard, you've got, one of your fans here, as it were.
Yeah, I'll take one for the team. I mean, he's commended the Sunday Standard's coverage. Yeah, I work for Sunday Standard.
You must be
I think the story that actually, apart from the KTN, the battle scars, which actually I think it's a wonderful coverage, and I think it should be replicated in print also, about reminding people about this PEV and how far these people have gone. Because what is happening is that if we fail to do that, there's a very big danger of this thing happening again, and we need to tell people, like, actually, how many, 10 years back, or 10 years later, or 8 years later, this is how far we've reached. Because as you mentioned about IDPs and all that, I think that there's sporadic IDPs in different places and all that, and I think that coverage is okay. It's really stood out,
and it's also in good timing.
Yeah, it's really stood out. Then corruption, I think that's an everyday thing now, because every day, something comes out, something gets unearthed about money not being used well or money being misappropriated and all that. I can't actually put a finger like, okay, fine, this particular story has stood out, because for me, all stories, are good. That's,
they've been relevant.
The business of doing that.
All right. Okay, Honorable William Okech, has any story stood out for you this week?
Just like my friends have said, the story of the media playing its watchdog role, highlighting issues of graft, maladministration, I think that has come out very clearly. Because why not for the media, we will not have heard about this story of the affidavit, starting with the Tunoi affidavit, starting with the Waiguru affidavit. So I think the media has really highlighted this issue of corruption, of breaking down systems which are not working. And for me, I think that issues of corruption.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Mwenda
come out
Kilemi?
clearly.
I would also stick with the Honorable in the issue of the watchdog role, because we're talking about the media here.
Right.
In particular, I'd look at the coverage of the Mau Mau. There was a story on the Standard on the 27th of February about how we cover the Mau Mau, the issues are faced from historical injustice to now. So I really like that coverage. I think we need to talk more about our colonial past and what people did in order for us to get the freedom we have today, and what the current administration is doing to try and fix those issues. We heard about the files that have been brought from London
Right,
for Dedan Kimathi.
The original files.
Yes, and so we need to appreciate our past. A lot of the problems we're having today is because of our past. Issues of land, issues of corruption, all have to do with how our country started out. So if we could spend more time, as the Standard did, looking back at our past and look at what's happening right now, what the government is doing right now to try and resolve those issues, it would be great. So
Okay.
I really appreciate that.
All right, let me now come to you, Crispus, and let's now zero in on corruption and possibly Waiguru, because I can see you had direction you wanted to go with that. And in regards to the fact that, of course, she's been on the headlines now for almost, 3 weeks, literally almost daily. And the fact that now the story that she came up with yesterday, or rather what she was asking the IG, is to provide security for her because her life is under threat, mainly because of, the sworn affidavit that she gave mentioning quite some influential names.
Come on, Michael. I think it's a joke, to say the least. I'd like to give the good lady, that is Anne Waiguru, some benefit of doubt. But I think she has mastered the art of wiring herself into the minds of editors and the newsroom per se. Because looking at the coverage yesterday, electronic and print, she was still dominating the headlines. What is so big about Waiguru's life being in danger? How true is that? I think that is the question that we must start asking.
So do you think
critically.
it's a story that was over-highlighted? Where
It was
did
over-highlighted.
not...
Definitely, it was over-highlighted. This is why I'm saying the lives of millions of Kenyans out there is in danger. How come that is not making headlines? Simply because Anne Waiguru has written a letter to the IG demanding security. That is the folly of this country, because the high and mighty seem to have mastered the art of grabbing headlines. Where are we going with this? I'm yet to find out.
Okay.
What I'm saying, Michael, I think there are critical issues that we must be raising right now. One of the critical issues is actually the recruitment of 10,000 police officers. We've said about this over and over again. How is their life? What has the government done about the lives of hundreds of thousands of police officers in this country? I think we need to bring out in a bigger way.
Okay.
Yes, just picking on that line of corruption, it is good when all these issues are being highlighted. The efforts that the government is putting to tackle graft, the tribunals that are being set up, the investigating agencies coming onto this, that is very good. But then, just following up on the story that happened in Kariobangi yesterday, voter registration. Corruption might seem to be the big story, but underneath, there is something which is cooking that Kenyans really should be aware of. The issue of incitement to violence, the issue of people being prepared psychologically, because all around when you see, I've had occasion of going to the counties, and certainly there is this message that seems to be going around, yeah? And if I could give an interpretation of it, it basically says that power is not bequeathed, power is grabbed. You know, when you tell that local citizen that issue, that power is not bequeathed, power is grabbed. And with all these things that coming up, voter mobilization, incitement, hate speech, then it shows you fine, it is good to look into issues of corruption, but then it is also very important to look at issues of national cohesion. Very important.
So for you, the Waiguru story really was not a headliner compared to what was happening politically speaking, and this is to do with incitement.
It stopped being a headline the moment when now all the politics started coming in. Because as I tell you, this is now a political season. We are going to be in a very foolish political season right now up to 2017. Politicians will ride on it. The opposition coalition will ride on it. And inside that, we are going to lose the core
main
issues,
story.
the main stories.
Okay, Clay, why would Waiguru still be a big story when it comes to, since you sit on the desk, maybe you viewed it differently, why would it be a big story for her to seek security because her life is in danger?
I think Waiguru is a big story still, you know.
Yeah.
She's been, I mean, like, here is a case where, just looking back and just go back to the whole saga about NYS, or just devolution ministry, which actually, as it was quite big, just devolution and planning. The position she held was quite big, and there's so many, can I call them remnants of that ministry that actually keep on falling off, you know, here and there. Now we have the youth fund. The other day there was this affidavit and all that, and then she comes up and says like, okay, fine, my life now is in danger. And I don't think there was anything wrong with letting people know or going big with that story about Waiguru's life being in danger, because she's still in people's minds, you know. We are not actually just telling people like, oh, again, this is the bombshell Waiguru has dropped. Apart from the affidavit, you know, now, I mean, she feels like these people are actually following her because of what she unearthed and stuff like that. Yeah, but having said that, for me, I think that she should stop being a girl. You know, she's such a girl, you know.
But she's a lady, I mean.
Yeah, a girl.
When you say she should stop being a girl, what do you mean?
There was a mischief. I was following on social media, Robert Alai, the blogger. Certainly, the last time Madam Waiguru went to the EACC offices, she was accompanied by 2 JSU officers who guard her. So you'll wonder why again will she say that
maybe she
walks around with
maybe
GSU.
she feels these 2 are not enough. Yeah, but you see, now that is the irony that sometimes actually she says, okay, despite her having all these two I mean security officers, which actually to GSU, and GSU is supposed to be elite, you know.
Yeah, elite.
She's still saying that her life is in danger. So just
In
as
fact,
Christopher,
Clay,
just,
I
I mean,
think-
just as
I think
Christopher-
that is-
I want to hear from
Jan came
what
in saying
you're
that there's so many people whose lives are in danger, including him and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's the irony. That's why the story
That's
is...
why it's a big story.
It's a big
Come
story.
on,
like-
come on. Clay, you're shooting away with murder.
Okay,
I think
wait,
what you're saying-
I'll come to you, Christmas. Let's hear Mwenda Kilemi's
In
take
addition,
on that.
I don't agree with Christopher with the idea that we shouldn't care that our life is in danger. Any Kenyan whose life is in danger, we should care about.
Yeah, but why highlight Waiguru when the
irrelevant,
rest of us are in
that?
irrelevant
Media
of how we feel about the person or how that person might be viewed in the wider society. Now, as Clay said, she's a news seller because corruption seems to be revolving around after the last 1 month. So naturally, anything that is associated with her would be news. Furthermore, there have been accusations that this story of the corruption in NYS is much bigger than we think it is, including opposition parties, people we didn't know about. I am very interested in her safety, so I can know exactly what really happened
get
there.
to the bottom of it.
Yes, so it's in our interest for her to be safe. Don't forget, she didn't go out and say my life is in danger. She asked, and it was reported in the public that she asked that her life is in danger. Finally, the argument that that this is not a topic we need to be covering I think this is the only topic we need to be covering.